Be live in a few seconds.
Okay.
Mark, you live. Boom.
Go Simon. Boom.
Welcome everyone to the sixth weekly Facebook Live Ask a Gentleman. And today we are a fifthsome. We have a fifthsome. Right. The four gentlemen and a very special guest, Rebecca Hulse. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone that's coming on.
So, Rebecca, we've been told you have a question for us.
Well, I'm not sure that I have one question for you, but I'm sure I have many. I actually have the privilege of knowing all four of you very well at this stage. And I have also seen how you have grown and also how you have facilitated over the years too. And so I know a lot of the questions in the group are from women, and they all have different varying ideas about what should happen in this group and what should be talked about. And I would love to start with a conversation about what can you do and be different if you're a woman that has a point of view?
Yeah. Hi, Rebecca. Good question.
Hi,
So,
exactly.
hi. I would say, first of all the interesting points I have about this topic or whatever came up, yeah, destroy and integrate it all. And I think it's, if you have no point of view, yeah, everything is possible. If you have only this specific point of view, then you only see this specific point of view, and you don't see what's around of you, yeah. So,
but unfortunately, as a woman, if you just see one point of view, you think you're right.
Yeah, but you know, I like to do this example for a woman. She thinks probably, yeah, okay, I wait for the prince on the white horse, yeah. But then if there is a prince coming on a brown horse, she doesn't see them because she's expecting the princess to come on a white horse. So yeah, and it's the same with the point of view. If I have this specific point of view, I don't see all the other possibilities. Yeah.
I love that. So do we have a clearing, or do we have a few ways we can run interesting point of view for everyone watching?
Yeah, so all points of, the easiest is interesting point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view, yeah? And everything that is, I just try and integrate it all.
Right, wrong,
Yeah.
and interest, boys and yes.
Yes, this is the clearing statement, and you can find it on clearingstatement.com.
Awesome. Does anyone else have something to add about this conversation of when you're a woman and you have a strong point of view?
Sul, go for it.
Yeah, so
we saw it on your face.
I was just wondering, I was like, all right, so if you're like creating something and you have, 10 people with 10 different points of view about how something should be, what does that look like when it shows up, when it's being created, especially if it's 10 very strong minded women? How does that work?
My computer this time, so I can go for it.
So with the strongest point of view, it then discounts everyone else's awareness. But if you have at least one person on the team willing to ask a question and empower everyone to contribute and look at their awareness, and I believe, Sul, if you have headphones nearby, that will help. If you are willing to ask questions and empower everyone in the group to actually contribute and bring forth their awareness, then you will get to a different point and a more creative point in that project, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that is
Sul,
the conversation in the direction you're going in.
Yeah, it's thank you. There's a lot of awareness there.
And also something that I know mainly from you for a gentleman is anytime you ask a question, it changes tracks. So even if a woman was heading in a very strong trajectory on one point of view, once you ask a question that is truly a question and not the kind of question that provokes or that they can go into reaction or defense or resistance and reaction, but something to help them consider a different point of view, then different things are able to show up. Because I know, for example, Mark, you and Max are doing a telecall on being in a relationship with strong women. And, you know, I'm sure you have more to add to this conversation too about, you know, the kind of questions that you can start to ask.
Not really. Just be quiet and do what you're told and everything's great.
Yeah, because that's your only tool, right?
Yep. It's right up there between what else is possible and interesting point of view. So your point of view creates your reality. There you go. That's what I get. What was your question again? Or was there a question?
Well, we're more having a conversation here than just dealing in questions. Because, you know, I've been part of your Facebook group for a while, and I've been noticing a lot more of, you know, the men's questions in there are great and they're so fun. And then I notice the women get into the conversation and all of a sudden it takes a left turn into seriousness. Or more like a right turn, really, if we think about it. And so I was more looking at, you know, maybe for us women, and I can say this as a woman, can we stop being so fucking serious and have a different conversation? Because, you know, if we look at this, because it's not about fixing men and it's not about fixing women and it's not about trying to get one or get something, but like truly we're different. So how can we use and enjoy and be with that in a completely different way?
I love that.
And what else do you guys want me to say that I can, you know, what other messages can I say because I'm a woman to contribute to this conversation? You can like private message me them and then I'll say them as if they're my own ideas.
Yeah, and about the fixed point of view, you know, how often it happens that a woman has a fixed point of view, so that the man has to act and react like she wants to, and if he is not doing that, then she thinks, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I will train him to do that. But I will train him. Will that ever work? I mean, for sure, not for us, for the four of us, yeah. But
not for the kind of man that you really want to have in your life. Like honestly, if he's trainable, no, he's not the kind of man. Just no.
Yeah.
Romain is laughing at me. So now I'm going to put him on the hot seat a bit too. So I lived with you for 4 weeks recently, and it was a crash course in forced receiving. I would love to hear a little bit more about what it was like on your end, and I'm happy to share afterwards what it was like for me and what it changed and contributed for me. But I also would like to hear the gentleman's side, the gifting side of this facilitation.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So yeah. I've been living with you and your mom and other women performers.
I brought my mother into this.
Yeah, and it went fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because a gentleman never scares. Okay, I was not scared. So, and it was very funny because I was the only man in the house for months, and we have different.
Yes, I had my true mother, and then I had my Greek mother. He's a wonderful friend of ours, Dina.
And it was my Greek mother too, but she didn't like me when I called her that.
No, she did not.
It was like just so fun. Like, you know, I'm used to live at home and being with my wife, Elodie, and the kids, Noah and Kian, and like, it's funny, like it's French culture too. So we're having lunch or dinner all together and stuff. And at that point, you come to a completely different culture, like New Zealand and Australian, and like everyone having your meal, etc. And on the first day, I remember I was like, "Oh, thank you. I would love a Coke too." And she was like, oh, sorry, like, she's not used to it. I said, yeah, if I took a Coke, I ask you if you want one, some stuff like that. And she's very well educated. But from my French point of view, I was like, why she's being selfish right now, you know? And she's not selfish at all. She was just not used to live like with many people at the time in the same room.
Yes. And not in a small space. I mean, like, I almost never see my brother and mom when I'm at home. Like, we're always in different areas of the house and doing our own thing too. So it was very different for me.
Yeah, but it was really cool, amazing conversation with you and all other. And I don't know what I can share, but I would love to share. It was really funny to, like, I can see your face like doing like, no, I drove you to a date. It was lovely, no?
Yes, we can talk about this.
I drove her to a date one day.
He wanted all four of you to drive me to the date. I don't know if he told you this, but he wanted like a bodyguard service for me.
That's right.
For this date, which I declined and was happy with just a ride to my date. But yeah, he wanted to scare the shit out of this guy, basically.
No.
Yes.
No, it's funny. When the guy, I heard the guy, like, no. It was just
later,
yeah, not the same day, just to be consigned and like. No, but it was really fun. Yeah, what contribution can we all be like for other people in your life, ladies and gentlemen, with having no agenda at all about what it's gonna be like?
Yeah.
We used to put like a comfortable distance with each other, especially gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, unless you decided you want to fuck someone. So what if you can?
And then sometimes you might even put more comfortable distance to create that. Yeah. And maybe have a quick conversation about what is comfortable distance for someone that's not familiar with the term as well.
Go for it, Rebecca. Be my guest.
Oh, Jesus. Well, comfortable distance is really when you are putting as much distance as possible between you and another person so that you feel comfortable. You know the term of like you put someone in their box, or you create it in a way so that you're putting people away from you far enough so that you've got your personal space and you can maintain yourself and their self. And this is where like the whole idea of boundaries kind of come from. But really, would an infinite being require separation from anyone or anything? And so what we're looking at here is getting to a sense of true vulnerability and being willing to not need to hide or have distance from anyone, and truly let yourself be with anyone and everyone that is willing to contribute to you. And so that is really my take on what we're talking about when we say comfortable distance.
Yeah. And so it's a completely different reality is possible about that and relationship with each other. And you can be close, you can talk about anything, it doesn't mean you want to fuck each other. And that's a fucking good point on my end. It's like, yeah, what if we just like, no ladies or gentlemen, just us being us and talking, being a contribution for each other. And I really love that in that house for 4 weeks. And with your mom, Gina, and Georgia, and everyone was really cool. Like, we never fight. So, no, it was pretty cool. So, and for you?
Well, for me, I think it was definitely dissipating any comfortable distance I still had. Like, you were a person in which comfortable distance has no place. It does not exist. And so, it was, you are taught in this day and age to be a self-sustaining woman, to be independent, to do things yourself. And so it would be simple things like, good morning, Rebecca, can I make you a coffee? And to need to go from, oh no, I'll make it myself, to being willing to tell you exactly how I have my coffee and then have you deliver that was amazing and quite frankly hard. I am a control freak. I am someone that likes things in a particular way. But being willing for you to ask me, like, no, really, how do you have your coffee? Not let me make you a coffee in the way that I like to make coffee, but how would you like this? And let me deliver that for you. Let me give that to you. And it was confronting. And so at every single moment, instead I could see, like, ugly parts of me wanting to raise up and go, like, no, I can do it myself. No, I won't receive this. No, I won't have this. Let me just let me be. And instead, pushing down those barriers, making a different choice to actually receive. Like, this is the thing, like, we always talk about receiving as if it's this thing that you just choose once and then you're done and then you receive. And in reality, it's not that. It's making a choice every 10 seconds. And so for me, it was, okay, receive this. Thank you. Be grateful. And the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And, you being the wonderful guy that you are, like, the door would be open of the car and, let me put your bag in the back and let me drive and all of these different things. And for me, it totally upped my level of receiving.
For the car,
she's
so bad driver. I rather drive.
Oh, come on. I am not a bad driver. I am just a fast driver.
No, when we drove from the airport in Brisbane to Sunshine Coast, it was night and she had a phone and stuff, and I really think, oh, she didn't have a light up.
Just because, like, I see well in the dark.
No. So no, it was not a gentleman. Was just kind of survive thing, like, yeah, I don't want to die, so I would drive even if it's a 5-minute drive every day. No.
Wonderful.
Rebecca, what I'm wondering is, after a time, with this receiving from Romain, did you also have fun?
Oh, I had fun the entire time. Even when I was uncomfortable, I had fun.
Cool.
Yeah, no, being uncomfortable and having fun is something that can happen for me at the same time, for sure. No, this whole thing was a fun. And yeah, I will say that at one point, Romain and I got on each other's nerves a little bit. But then the wonderful thing is we went to Melbourne and we had some space. And he got to do his laundry 10 times a day. And and I got to stay in a hotel. And then we came back to our house and we were so grateful to hang out with each other again. And it was one of those things where, all of it was fun, even the parts that were uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's like you should for women, man is not in your head. So if you like something, just tell him. At some point, she said, "Oh, really? After a day of class, I need 10 minutes on my own. Nobody talks to me." And okay, she told me that, and after that, for the rest of the months, he knew, and so at that point he said, okay, back off, and it's fine. But if you don't know, like, if you don't tell people, can't know, and it's like, yeah, you can get the energy of it, but you don't know. Oh, you deserve something.
And so ladies, like, for me, because I would go, why am I frustrated, and why is not a good question? And then I started asking myself, okay, what do you need here, Rebecca? Like, okay, Rebecca, what do you need? And then I would go, oh, I just need everyone to shut the fuck up. And so I wouldn't say that. I would go, hey, I need 10 minutes where I just don't talk to anyone. And then they would all happily give that to me. They would, like, get out of my world and go and talk among themselves. And then I would have exactly what I required too. So, like, ladies, most of the time you're taught that other people are supposed to figure out what you want. You need to figure out what the fuck you want. So just ask yourself, because unless you ask and you know it, you can never actually truly receive it.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and what is? Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's such a good conversation about asking and receiving, because it's like, I know that a lot of women have, like, stuff come up around asking for what they actually desire and then receiving that, and so yeah, as you're talking, it's like, just one sec. It's like, yeah, because how many of you as well, to ask for what you actually desire and then receive it is to be like totally out of control. And it's like, how out of control would you be willing to be with receiving everything that you're asking for? And what are you actually asking for? And like, what is that creating in your life as well?
And everything that is, right? Ranka Papakal, 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
Oh.
And such a great point. I just want to say, like, it's not easy to ask for what you want. Like, I'm not saying that any of this is like, oh yeah, sure, fine, go ask for what you want. Like, no, I get it. Like, most of us have never practiced asking for what we want. So I get that can be a big confronting thing. And rejection as a woman can feel 10 times more painful than it is as a man. But what I'm starting to realize is it's all invented. None of this is real. It's all fucking fake. And so you just actually have to start practicing asking, and then you get to a point where it's just normal. And so then you can say, hey, will you do this for me? And you're okay if they do it or if they don't, but you know that you can ask for things. So I would say, like, ladies, home play, first ask yourself, what would I like here? What would I need? And then, like, ask for 10 things. And then you can start judging yourself if for asking or not. But for 10 things, just practice asking without judgment and without expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't give yourself up for anyone, you know. And that's also great. You're Romanian, you lived, you know, with, I think, 4 women together in the house. And you didn't have to stay outside the house, you know, as the doormat. Because you were being you. And yeah, so just by being you, you know, that's great. So yeah, and everywhere you all outside here, man or woman, pretend that you have to give up yourself to fit into the reality of another one, and not to being you, will destroy and create it all.
Yes.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, but Pakana, shots, boys and beyonds. Yeah.
And it's funny because I just remember I oversold myself to get in the house. So,
you did.
I
promised to cook.
One time.
He promised to French cook.
No, I didn't. But
you did.
6 months ago, like some dinner, they brought the stuff and I cook a dinner. And so
it was
they
amazing.
had the point of view that if I'm in the house, I will cook every day.
No, we asked you, if we get a house together, will you cook? And you said, yes, I will find screenshots.
Yeah, interesting point of view women have about what they dream of. I'm joking. I can't remember.
But is this an example of promise everything and deliver only what you want?
What you want to do? No.
This is exactly that. Promise everything and deliver nothing.
I was about to cook and then my body just didn't want to eat for almost 2 weeks. That's true,
blame
Rebecca.
your body.
No, I don't blame it. I'm grateful for my body. And I was like, oh guys, I'm sorry.
Because I got you out of cooking.
I cannot cook for you. I don't eat. It's just and it was so fun. Guys,
it was really very funny.
And we can definitely have another date. It's been half an hour. I have a series about relationship in France with 200 people waiting for it, and it's starting in 1 minute. And I'm sorry.
So, parlez-vous français? Jump over to relationships.
Yeah.
Avec
Les relations, on en parle. And it's amazing. It's our first date, and we have 1 facilitator per week. And we're starting the English one in 15 days, maybe. Rebecca will be there. Sul will be there. Mark and Hanne didn't answer yet, but it's okay.
Sure. Nothing like peer pressure on public platforms to get people to do things. Like cook.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Have so much fun.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming on, Rebecca.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Rebecca, for being here.
Thanks.
Bye.
Amazing conversation.
Bye.